So I'm bringing to you today a different sort of video. I'd like to show off all the constructions that Arienne Keith here has done on the MMO Anthropology server. So Arienne, can you tell us what we're going to be looking at today?
The stuff that I've built that was not stuff that I've participated in so much as built almost entirely by myself
Hmm?
on this server. Just random odds and ends that I've put up at the various cities that we've started, and some stuff that's also out in the middle of nowhere.
So what's the first one that we'll be visiting?
Vegan Hellmouth. That was the very first thing I built. I wanted a giant monster
Yeah, no
with a
kidding.
farm inside.
Alright, well, we're going to go see that, and I'll see everyone on the other side. Good morning, YouTube. Hello, and welcome to another MMO Anthropology video. And I am your host, Amarist, and we're staring right at the vegan hellmouth as expected. And Arienne is around here somewhere. There she is. And we're going to get ourselves a tour of this extremely strange-looking structure that looks like it's reaching out to grab me right now. So tell us a little bit about this.
So this is the very first. When we were on the server, we were initially sharing a space, and I started out with just a chest of my own. And I thought, you know what, I want my own place, and I had been doing a lot of farming, and figured it would be nice to, because we were still at a stage where food was something we definitely had to keep an eye on, and continually be working on growing. So I wanted it to be something with lots of food in it, and
On fire.
yes, and people had just made a nether portal and were going to the nether, and I thought, netherrack would be an interesting building material, but what does netherrack make me think of? Giant red monsters who want to eat you.
The vegan hellmouth. So
So,
you've got pretty much a farm and a garden in here. I see you have lots of pumpkins, melons. There's wheat down the middle. I assume that you have carrots and carrots and potatoes.
yep, potatoes are on the other side there.
I can also see here cats
Got
and
everything
dogs.
except for sugarcane. Oh yeah, so this has a little bit of everything except for sugarcane. I had originally planned to put nether brick stairs on, stairs going upwards, and this was built before the redstone update, so they didn't have nether brick stairs without creative mode, so I went without those, and then once we had the redstone update, I just never really bothered to update it. But yeah, I also collected, the two types of tameable critters, and made sure to put in some water wells in case anybody accidentally jumped into the fire, because,
You
if
can
you
get
go
lit
out
on
back
fire.
here, yeah, if you go out back here, my fire lamps at the corners are, well, easy to light yourself on fire with.
Has that been a problem?
Yes, actually, I do recall. I don't know if you remember, but I remember you falling into one of my fires and
Yeah.
leaping off the side of the building looking for water.
Yes.
So I built this well here in your honor.
So what went into deciding on making the hellmouth this huge, I don't know, crab-like creature that we saw when we were looking at it from the front?
Well, I figured it should, have light coming in the front, or, be a greenhouse of sorts, with all sorts of food in its belly, and should be reaching out to grab more food. It's a hungry beast.
It's a hungry beast
Yes.
with horns that are on fire, made out of glowstone, and it's mostly netherrack. So this is pretty. It's pretty neat. I like how the mouth looks like it's full of fire, like it
Yep.
cooks its own
Fiery
food.
teeth.
Yes. So,
The odd arrangement of netherrack and fire is supposed to be reminiscent of fiery teeth.
spooky. So what are we looking at next?
Let's see. So the next place that I built stuff was over in our jungle village. That was the next area that we moved to.
Yeah, we can
So
sort of
the
see a silhouette of it right now. And
Yeah.
whoa, wow! Oh, it goes up above the clouds. That's why that silhouette suddenly did that. So I'm gonna head over there and then restart the video when we're on the other side. So see you folks. So here we are at the base of the treehouse, which is in the second area that we colonized on the server, which is a jungle, huge jungle biome. I'm going to leave it over to Arienne here to describe the construction of the treehouse and what she designed it for. So go ahead and take it away.
So, other folks on the stream had been talking about making something that goes up all the way to the top of the world. I think that was Kaz's thing. He was going to build a dirt ziggurat, which he hasn't been working on for a while.
Yeah, because it was going to become way too wide.
Yeah, yeah. But I climbed up a tree and was reminded of the tree house that I had built with Amarist on a private LAN server, and wanted to build another one of those for everyone to share on the group server. And it kind of ended up becoming my own thing since I was working on it by myself. Took a while to build as well. On the old one, we actually had a diving board just like this that Amarist came up with on the private LAN server as a way to quickly get down out of the treehouse. So I replicated that, and as the treehouse kept going up, I put a couple of more diving boards out. The diving boards get progressively longer so that you don't die horribly by accidentally clipping one of the diving boards below.
Right. So how many levels does this have? Do you know?
I don't know, actually. I haven't counted. I just know it goes all the way up to the very top. I put coconuts, or sorry, not coconuts, cocoa beans along it all the way up. Figured out how to use...
This is the cloud level. This is where clouds clip through.
Yep. And it looks like we might... Yeah, we have some out there. You can see some of them going by here.
And none are clipping through at the moment, though. But they definitely do. I've been in here when clouds were going through.
Yeah, you can also get a view of the world. It's just rezzing in, so you can see structures underneath it as well.
Yeah.
And the clouds coming to block it off. Also figured out how to use gardening shears. Now, before they nerfed the bone meal, what I was doing was I would go up go up in building levels for a bit. Then I would put 4 square of dirt and plant 4 jungle saplings in a square, and then bone meal one corner, and the entire thing would turn into a giant jungle tree. And that's how I got a fair amount of the way up. After that, though, they nerfed it, and I was having some trouble getting it to grow up above cloud level, so I just had to put the jungle wood there. I mined and replanted, and, you know, bone mealed my way through the jungle forest in order to get the wood for all of this. Took a fair amount of work.
Nope.
As we're going up, you'll see a rainbow of sheep.
Yeah, it's pretty loud with sheep here, but I think we're at some sort of magenta-colored sheep and darker purple.
Yeah, these are the purple. Yeah. And they do have grass, so that they will regrow their wool. Before, it was breeding and slaying for wool, which wasn't particularly easy to do, and it was time-consuming, so I managed to... I used a Silk Touch diamond pickaxe to bring in the jungle grass, and found out that, amusingly enough, the jungle grass actually spawns ocelots.
So you every now and then have ocelots in the sheep pens?
Yes, ocelots will spawn randomly inside the sheep pens, with their kittens,
Apparently
even.
I found some cows.
Yes, there's one for
pigs.
one little for cows, one for pigs. If you open the chest, you'll find stacks of ham.
And chickens, yeah.
Yes, here's eggs, and I've got a ton of eggs and feathers. And milk, too, for poisoning victims.
Storage.
Yes.
And
yeah, that's where I kept everything while I was in the process of building. I would build up a little further and then pick a midway level and put my chests down and use those for storage.
It looks like we're into the vegetable level.
Uh-huh, because when you're this far up and it takes you this long to climb up those vines, then or the stairs, whichever way you decide to do it, you want something sustainable. So I've got an endless water bath just underneath you there.
So we're up at the very top, which is where the tallest diving board is,
Yeah,
And
I
to
couldn't place another block above this. Like, I couldn't place another junglewood block up here, but I could place decoration blocks up here, which is why you see torches on top of stuff.
interestingly enough, the diving board seems to suggest that we sell our organs on eBay.
Yes, yeah, that was someone said something about that on stream, and then the next time I came up here on top of the diving board, I found those signs up there.
Okay, in order to end this particular section, I think we're both going to jump off the diving board, but
Sounds like a good idea.
let us know where we're heading next.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the next thing that I built was Frau Totenkinder's castle.
All right.
It's a
Well,
reference to
everyone,
Hansel and Gretel.
I'm going to charge forward and leap off the diving board, and when I see you on the other side, hopefully if I survive, I will,
Oh, you will.
see you at Frau Totentinder's castle. Wah! Well, folks, I have naively agreed to let Arienne Keith lead me into the woods, and nothing could go wrong with this plan. So go ahead and take it away, Arienne.
So, I really like the way that ores look while they're still in their natural ore form, and once I found out about Silk Touch and how I could use that to capture whole blocks, I really wanted to make something out of those blocks. Second thing that popped into my head was everyone is going to look at that and really want to mine it.
Right.
So then that reminded me of the fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel, how they wanted to eat the house. So this is the Minecraft version of that house, and I wanted it to be a castle because a small house wouldn't be able to show off all of the ores that I wanted to. So looked it up, and Frau Totenkinder, which literally means child eater, is the witch in Hansel and Gretel.
Yep.
Oops. Sometimes a little bit tricky to get inside with these steel doors.
Oh, yep.
Here, I'll stand on the pusher plate for you.
There. Got in.
Okay.
So, give us a tour of this place. I see that the floor and the ceiling are different colors. Color schemes.
So each level has its own floor design or ceiling design. Each cross slice there has its own design, and then on the sides, we have coal, which is silk touched, and then ice, which is also silk touched from the nearby area with the streams, which messed up the water quite a bit. But I eventually figured out how to fix it. Silk touched some lapis here for this. Got some redstone blocks and redstone. And there's some wool and some lapis blocks here in the floor. Mm-hmm. And none of these were made with creative mode. They were actually put in through hard work and grinding. Mm. So I guess we can go up first.
Okay.
We can go either up or down. Doesn't really matter. So if we go up, there's this area right here. This is the front part of the castle. You can kind of see up over the front.
The snowy landscape down there.
Yep. And that's the entryway and all that. If we look up, you can go into the central tower here.
Okay.
The gold, the gold blocks are the only thing that I had trouble finding enough of to actually make all the way, so I think maybe one or two of them were ill-gotten.
Yeah, I can see how that could be difficult.
The rest were gotten the traditional way. Redstone is a lot easier to find than gold. So, you can see up around the corners here and look across the land.
Yeah, I can see a couple buildings. I can see a Frostgrip Castle.
Yes.
So I know that this has several layers to it, each of which have floors that have differing color schemes and properties.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect that's probably next on the tour. Hope I'm not getting too far ahead of you there.
Either way, there's also these turrets which will also afford you a bit of a view.
Oh yeah.
Although the central turret's the best because it's the tallest and you can see further.
Yes.
But these are still, here and they're decorative and all that.
And they work. I mean, you can walk into them.
Yep.
Oop.
So there's the upper level. Here's the main level again, where I have the dogs and cats planted. Mm-hmm. And here's the next one down.
Green.
Yes. Yeah, this one is a green-themed room, so green-themed floor and sides. And of course, the roof is the floor from the level above. There's still a tiny bit of light that can come in through this side. The ground doesn't completely cover it up, so I did put in some ice window there.
The
And I've
cats.
got a fair amount of storage here as well.
Cobblestone derivatives. Okay, coming down.
Yep. And we're too far below ground for any more ice windows, but and there's no storage here either. But
Some
here's the
diamond
light blue.
blocks in the floor here.
Yep. And those were gotten the hard way.
Oh, wow.
That's actually by using a fortune pickaxe. I was able to turn like 3 or 4, maybe 5 diamond ore blocks that I had silk touched into, like I was able to replant those and mine them with a loot pickaxe and get enough diamonds for all these blocks. So there's a loot 3 pickaxe enchantment. Woohoo, level 30 enchantments. And here's the bottom level. Stairs
And
don't
it's
any further.
golden. Hey, look, and
Yep.
there's an enchantment table here.
Uh-huh.
I take it that this became...
I surrounded it as much as possible with the books.
Yeah, I take it that this
So-
became the central point from which you started generating most of the enchantments so that you could do further stuff.
Actually, I generated most of them in TJ's place, and then when he moved his enchantment table, I was forced to build one of my own, and figured that Totenkinder's castle was probably the best place for that sort of thing, because, you know, it's all decorated, and it's a witch's castle and whatnot. It makes sense to have a enchanting table here.
It's pretty well designed. I mean, you have the floors have these interesting design. It doesn't match up. Yeah, it's the same on the ceiling as the floor. It's just different colorations.
Yeah.
So,
And
well,
the wool is from my rainbow sheep over at the treehouse.
from the treehouse. So as
Yep.
each one has been building on the last one, essentially.
Yeah, building on the goods and work of the previous one. The Hellmouth fed me while I ran around and got stuff, and treehouse developed into a sorted farm. Oh wait, I need to go up one more.
So that about does it for Totenkinder's castle. What's next on the tour?
Let's see. The next thing that I built was I wanted to build a giant cube in a snowy biome, but the snowy biome wasn't big enough, so I had to find another snowy biome. So it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but I also put an ice castle there because I wanted it to be in the middle of a snowy biome as well. So
Okay.
they're nearby each other.
Well, next we'll be taking a look at a giant cube and a snowy castle. I'll see everyone there.